93.3 The Q.
What's the 411 with your girl, J Bell?
All right, so you guys heard me going on a tangent today. I found out some things about my ex recently after the facts. And now we're going to talk about narcissism, dating, relationships, something in that whole world right there, Sam. Go ahead and get to it because, I've been mad all day.
Well, as you know, the dating scene is a very scary place for a lot of you singles. And the common denominator is that everyone is in fear or fearful of the word narcissist, narcissism. Mm-hmm. And everywhere you go, whether it be a friend or a sibling or any person you talk to, they always tell you these horror stories of their dating life.
Exactly.
And the one thing that I can say is through a psychic's perspective, just because a person has a bad day or has a foul attitude doesn't necessarily mean that they're narcissistic. And I think that word is highly overused. Mm-hmm. And I think that people are downplaying their own behaviors by pointing the finger at someone else's behavior patterns. So instead of dating advice, instead of looking over at the person you're seeing, see what about them you don't like and reflect it back of if you're acting out in those similar ways.
So you're trying to figure out whether you are looking at a narcissist or maybe you're just not taking accountability of your own actions within self.
Exactly. And sometimes we're human beings. Like, we're not going to mesh with every single person in our path.
Right.
There's going to be opposing energy. There's going to be conflicting energy. So if we go on a date with someone and they're doing mannerisms or things that we don't find likable or attractive, we can't deem them as a bad person just because they threw a fit, just because something happened, they got upset. Maybe they had a really hard day. Maybe they've had a hard life. We don't know that. So in the dating scene, instead of throwing the word narcissism around, really reflect on what are your dating goals? Mm-hmm. What is it that you really want out of the dating scene?
Okay.
And be honest with yourself.
Isn't that where communication comes into play, though? Like, I mean, as a man or as a woman, if you're having a bad day or you're feeling some type of way, shouldn't you let that other person know so they know how to come forward to you, to talk to you, how to respond to you, instead of just taking their own thoughts in their head, especially on a first date?
Right. And then that's when psychics get called, because instead of having those conversations, they'll go get a reading. And so then I'm getting blown up and they're like, I really met this guy. What do you think of him? And I'm like, first of all, what do you think of him? Like, you went on the date, baby girl. I did not.
So they don't even try to communicate with the person. They just come straight to you and ask questions.
Oh, they're like right away, do you think he wants marriage? Do you think he wants kids? I think that's a question for him. So we can't be quick to judge. We have to take a few minutes to focus on our relationship goals and what we're trying to get out of the dating scene. And then we have to pick that type of energy accordingly.
So basically, wait about 6 months, ladies and gentlemen, before you contact Sam about this person to find out whether or not they're for marriage or why they got an attitude problem today. Something like that.
The best relationships happen in a slow-paced.
Yes. See, you know what? That's a conversation for another day. All right, Sam, let them know where they can book you at and what you got coming up, because you have a big event coming up.
Yes, we have Beltane Marketplace, which is music and food and shopping at the State Fairgrounds at the New Mexico Expo. That's May 11th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
You can find your tickets on Eventbrite. And then you can always reach me on Instagram, Sacred, SAKRID, _moon. You can find me on Instagram. You can message me there. My website is spelled exactly the same, .org.
Okay. All right, guys. We're going to continue this conversation actually on the Q's IG Live. Go over there, join us. Watch me rant more about my ex who talked a lot of junk about me. Psychic Tuesdays happening every Tuesday at 3:40 on the J Bell Show.
Check this out.
It's your girl, J Bell.
On Albuquerque's #1 hit music station, 93.3 The Q.